Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing the second in my Met Gala inspired series. Thank you so much for all the sweet comments on my first Met Gala look. Thank you so much for all the sweet words on my Haley Steinfeld Met Gala look. You guys seem to really like that one and you guys asked for more Met Gala looks, so here I am. This one was actually the first one that I thought of, but I didn't have the feathers necessary to do the lashes or the rhinestones, so I had to push it back a little bit and do another Met Gala look first. But I've got my feather lashes. I actually filmed a video on how to customize lashes and how to make feather lashes, which is up on my Patreon. So if you want to check that out, go to patreon.com/pompberry. I'm also going to leave the link down below. And there are also several other exclusive videos on there. I do a lot of how-to videos and a lot more pro makeup artist oriented videos. I also put up the face chart of today's look up on Patreon. So there's a lot of cool things, a lot of behind the scenes over there. So yeah, you should check it out. Just saying. What was I saying? Janelle Monae, Met Gala. Did I mention Janelle Monae? Anyway, today I'm going to be doing a look based on Janelle Monae's outfit, which was amazing. It was one of my favorite outfits of the night. I immediately knew that I had to do a look based off of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. But before we begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've just washed and moisturized my face. I went out running, so I took a shower. And I also exfoliated my lips with the Lush Cranberry Fizz. And I prepped them with the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. I moisturized with the Dermalogica Barrier Defense cream. Is that what it's called? I think. I don't know. But now I'm going to prime my skin and I'm going to use the Smashbox Primerizer. This is a primer plus moisturizer, and normally I just apply that to my dry areas. I have combination skin, but today I'm going to apply it all over because I'm going to be painting my face white. And I really want to get it as uniform as possible, so I want my skin to be really hydrated, really moisturized, to make sure that the product can be blended out easily onto my face. If your skin is really dry or if it has dry patches, usually product clings to that, and I really want this to be as uniform as possible. So if you've been around this channel for a while, if you've seen my Halloween videos, I typically do a full white face with clown paint, with Mehron Clown White Light, but today I'm going to go for something a little bit different. I'm going to use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Fair 00. It's their white concealer, and I'm doing this just because the Clown White is really sticky and I really have to set it a lot, and I also don't know where it is and I kind of don't want to look for it, but this works just as well. It's less tacky, kind of sets on its own, but I am going to powder anyway. And today's look, I think I'm going to draw it on like a mask. I'm drawing inspiration heavily from Alex Box, from looks that she has done in the past. And there's one that she did for Valentine's Day that was like a white mask. And you could see just a little bit of skin peeking through around the edges. And I've always loved that makeup look. So I'm going to do the same today. And I'm really packing this on quite heavily. I forgot to color correct. I was going to color correct before I went in with this concealer, but I think I'll be fine. And I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender to blend it out. I don't think this gets as white and as opaque as the Clown White, but I think it'll be good enough for what I'm doing today. And I'm going to clean up the edges after, so it's fine if it bleeds out a little bit while I'm blending it out. I don't really have to apply any to my right eye. That's all going to be filled in with black later. And I'm doing this as a mask just because I think it adds to the campiness of it, and because white is a very big element of her dress, so I wanted to incorporate that, and the way I thought best was just to make my skin solid white. Oh, also I forgot to mention the difference in my eye colors. Basically the eyes on her dress, one is black and the other is blue, so I just put on contacts to match, just wearing clear contacts on this eye. And I don't have my blue contacts yet. I ordered some. These are teal, but it gets the point across. And now I'm going in with a second layer because I don't think that first layer is white enough. So yeah. To be fair, this would have been a lot easier to do with the Clown White Light. I just really didn't want to go looking for it. I also barely ever use this concealer, and I kind of want to start using up my products more. I hate feeling like I'm being wasteful with what I have. So I'm trying to be good about using up my products. Just Blending that in. The second layer really helps to get the white more opaque. Don't forget to go under the nose too. Now I'm going to set it first with translucent powder, and then I'm going on with a white eyeshadow to really intensify the white. I just don't want the eyeshadow clinging to any patches, so I want to make sure I set everything first. And I'm going to be using my little powder dispenser. Everyone asked me about this thing. This is actually for fake hair, like topics. You put the little fake hair fibers in here and then you spray it onto bald spots. So this is what I use, but I use it for powder. And I use it in cases where I don't want to move what's on my face at all, not even a little single millimeter. So I just go ahead and do that. I spray my powder on. I don't know if you can see the white on white, but I'm creating a cloud of powder right now. I try not to breathe while I'm doing that. And then I take a big old fluffy brush, and I'm actually going to put powder on my brush. I'm just doing this because I don't have powder outside of this dispenser. So I'm just putting some powder on my brush, and then I'm just lightly tapping the powder in to make sure it's on every single little inch of the white to make sure everything's really set. I'm gonna go especially under my eyes. I crease a lot. Don't really care about the eyelids, but I also don't want it to crease, so just blending that out. And then powdering that up. Okay, so now that that's fully powdered, I'm going to go in with some matte white eyeshadow. This is the color Zen by Cosette, and it's a really, really intense white. And I'm just taking it on a fluffy brush and patting it on over everything. And this really helps to create more opacity, so it makes the white look a lot whiter. It'll ensure that you can't see any skin peeking through. This eyeshadow is crazy pigmented. If you thought that Sugarpill Taco was pigmented, this shit is so good. Like, I love Sugarpill Taco, don't get me wrong, but I think that this is even more opaque than Taco. Bold statement to make. And it's also more buttery. So I'm making sure to get every little single part of my face. So I think now I'm going to start with the blush, and then I'm going to clean up the edges after that. I'm going to go in with the NYX Ombré blush in the color Codebreaker. It's a really, really bright neon pink. I'm going to be applying that just to my left cheek. And because the pink part of the dress is very long, very vertical, I'm going to bring that blush up. First, I'm going to start kind of just patting it on. And I'm going to build it up slowly. I'm going to build up the intensity slowly. And because the pink part of the dress is very long, it's very vertical, I'm going to bring that blush upwards. I'm going to do kind of like an 80s blush almost, and bring it kind of diagonally and just slowly build that up. But I don't know if this blush is pigmented enough to get the intensity that I want. We shall see. Because I was thinking I might have to go in with an eyeshadow for this. And because I'm doing this on a stark white background, there's no room for mistakes. You can't really patch up a white background. You have to like take it all off and do it again. So that's why I'm building it up very slowly so that I can make sure I don't make any mistakes during my application. I'm applying this mostly to my like cheekbone. It's above the apple of my cheek really, but bringing it onto the apple as well, but it's more elevated. And I'm bringing this all the way to the edge. That's why I'm waiting to clean up the edge after I do this blush. Bring it past the edge, really. This isn't really the right color, but I didn't really have any other one. I might actually go in with an eyeshadow to complement this. Okay, so I've got the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, and I'm going to be using this pink right here. Going to try to pack it onto my brush without getting any of the other eyeshadows on my brush. I think I'll get a more intense payoff with this. At least I hope. It's kind of looking the same. But this also seems like it's a better tone match for the dress. Really want this to be more intense. So I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush. This is an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to dig into that eyeshadow and really kind of pack it on. Yeah, there we go. And then just small circular motions to blend it outwards. And I'm concentrating the color in the center of the blush zone, so to speak, because I still want the edges to be faded out, but I want that center to be really intense. Remember, more is more when it comes to camp, so I really want to crank the campiness up a few notches. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and clean the edges with a wipe. And I like wipes to do this because I can just wrap it around my finger and get a super clean line that way. And then I just switch to another part of the wipe and continue cleaning up. I also want to be careful to not take off too much, but I am going to outline it with black, so even if I do, I can probably cheat it a little bit with a black line. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes. I think I'm going to leave the black lines for last. I'm going to go ahead and do my left eyebrow with the NYX black gel liner. I might do my right one as well, but I'm not too worried about the right one, and you'll see why. So I'm kind of sad that my brows aren't shaved right now, but I'm going to do my best to do a super crazy and exaggerated brow, and I want it to be pitch black, very drawn on. I'm going to do very exaggerated brows. There were no brows on the dress, but thought it would fit the look really well. I think I want to round off the beginning of my brow, and I can't really do that with this brush, so I'm gonna have to switch brushes to do that. A lot of people ask me like what brushes to use for what product, and I always say that it doesn't really matter. Whatever works, works. There's no right or wrong when it comes to brushes. The one tip that I will give you though is always try to use the brush that looks the most like the stroke you're trying to do. So this is a flat, straight brush. It's going to give me flat strokes. For me to do a rounded edge, I need a rounded brush. So I need a flat, rounded brush like a lip brush. In this case, I am going to use a lip brush. I'm using a small lip brush so I can get this start rounded off. I kind of want to exaggerate the brow even more, rounding it out. I think that's a good shape. Very exaggerated, very drawn on. I might actually bring it past the edge of the mask. I think that would actually be a fun little detail. Okay, that's way more campy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of map out this eyebrow. I'm not gonna go as crazy with it. I just kind of want it to match shape-wise. I'm really not worried about it. That's all I'm going to do for the right eyebrow for now. Now I'm going to apply some silver eyeshadow on my left eye, and I'm going to be using the Viseart Grande Pro Volume 2 palette. I stole this from my friend Alex. Thank you, Alex. He is also a makeup artist, and he's actually never used this palette before, so I'm really excited I get to try it out. I'm just going to be using the silver right there and just applying it all over my lid. So I'm using a flat brush so that I can really pack on the product, and I want to be really precise with my application. Ooh, I don't think it's sticking well to a set base, so I'm going to apply a new layer of the concealer, just a tiny bit, just so I have a sticky base for this eyeshadow to stick to. Some eyeshadows are like this, some are fine with a powdered base, some you really need a sticky base for them to stick onto. So while that is still wet, I'm going to go in with that silver. Oh yeah, a world of a difference. And I am going to be applying rhinestones to my eyelid, but I just want to make sure there's no white skin peeking through if there are spaces in between the rhinestones, which I'm sure there will be. So I just want to make sure there's some silver on there. I'm just matching my eyelid to the color of the rhinestones, basically. I'm going to bring that a bit past my crease because I want the eyeshadow to be visible when I have the lashes on and everything, and they are insane lashes, so I just want to bring that further up than I normally would, just like that. And you can't really see it that well against the white, but it will definitely make a difference having it there. I've zoomed you in and cleaned off the white off my lips because it was looking a little gross. I hate it when makeup gets on the lips and just ugh, no. Now I'm going to line this eye with the Suva Beauty Hydroliner in the color Grease. It's their matte black. And I'm going to be pretty much tracing around the eyeshadow and under my eye and doing a bit of eyeliner along the top lash. So this is a water activated eyeliner. It's pretty much like a face paint. You have to drop a little bit of water in it to get it going. It's kind of like a watercolor, if you will. So I think I'm going to start with my lash line. I'm going to try to keep the line kind of thin. But I do want to have something there because I don't want to be sticking rhinestones right up to my lash line. I always like doing the inner corner with my eyes open. Just makes it easier. You can get a thinner line that way. Then I'm also going to outline my bottom lash line. I'm going to be kind of exaggerated with this. And I'm going to extend this bottom out so that I can connect it to this top outline that I'm about to do. I just want to go along the edge of the eyeshadow, basically. I'm going to bring it all the way in and connect it to my inner corner. Like that. Might want to exaggerate this outer corner a little bit more. Now that this eye is done, I'm going to go ahead and map out this eye. I figure why not, since we're here with the eyeliner. And I'm actually going to be making this whole eye black. The top right part of her dress is just a solid black, so that's what I'm going to be doing with this eye. And I'm going to be connecting it to the nose line. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start the nose. Okay, so that's the start of my nose. I want to make sure it's pointy. And then here, I'm just kind of filling everything in with black. And also outlining. Oh shit. See, that's what happens when you blink. That's fine. I'll just make the line thicker. And I'm just going to connect this all the way up with the eyebrow. Then I'm just taking a little flat brush and filling in this entire shape. I'm probably gonna have to do multiple layers of this because, as you can see, it's mixing in with a white and creating a muddy sort of gray. Just setting the base layer down. And it's gonna look super weird until I tightline my eyes, but for now you're gonna be able to see that waterline. And something like that. I went and had a little dinner break. And this lid is creasing, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm gonna fix that up way later. Right now, I'm going to add rhinestones to this lid, and this is going to be a very tedious process, but we're gonna do this. I just got these at Michael's. They were like $3, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick them on with lash glue. I'm not going to go in with the smallest size. I'm going to go in with the second smallest. I think that is a more appropriate size to the scale of the rhinestones on her dress in comparison to my eye. And also I don't want to be here forever, so a bigger rhinestone will help. So yeah, let's just get this started. So normally I use my House of Lashes non-latex based lash glue, but because it's really intense and really hard to remove, I'm going to go in with the duo glue that I can just peel off once it's done. Hopefully this hasn't completely dried out. Yes, it has. Okay, I need to go get some more. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of my hand. That way I can just dip the rhinestone into the glue and then apply it straight on my eyelids. And that way the glue will start drying out as well and it'll start to get tacky. So I'm just grabbing the rhinestones with a tweezer and then dipping it into the glue and taking off the excess. You don't need a lot of glue on there, otherwise it will kind of overflow. I'm going to start with my outer corner right there. Pretty. And I'm gonna add them in rows. So I'm gonna do this entire bottom row first along my lash line. If you don't place them in the right spot, you can always nudge them a little bit while the glue's still wet. And be careful not to get glue on your tweezers, otherwise the rhinestones are gonna stick to your tweezers and not come off when you want them to. So just make sure you're cleaning your tweezers in between rhinestones. See, like that. I don't remember the last time I put rhinestones on my face. It's been a very long time. Definitely have to nudge them around so that they're exactly where you want them to be. Now for the inner corner, I'm applying the rhinestone with my eye open. Pretty much how I applied the eyeliner. And I can get it right in that little corner. That's the first row done. Yay! Only a million more to go. Boo! And I might even put one between the two rows at the very end, right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this for another 5 hours. I'm sure you don't want to watch me do that. I'm sure you get the gist. and I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. It took me 20 minutes from the moment I turned off the camera, and this is ridiculous. I can barely open my eye, so there's that. And as you can see, I overlapped the black line a little bit, so I'm going to fix that up real quick. I'm just thickening up the black line where I overlapped it, because I still want it to be visible. Okay, I think there we go. Now for this eye, to stop the creasing, I'm going to go in with the black gel liner, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid, and I'm going to use this as a base for some black eyeshadow. I find that the only way to get my lid not to crease is if I seal it with an eyeshadow, and to do that you need a creamy base. I'm taking it under my eye as well. I'm not going to set that with eyeshadow. It's going to set itself. It's not going to crease the way my upper lid does. So before that has a chance to crease, I'm going to go in with my Black Moon Orb of Light palette, and I'm going to use the black. And I'm tapping off the excess to make sure I don't have any fallout on my brush, because to have fallout on the white would be absolutely disastrous. So I'm not packing a lot on my brush, just enough to set it. And another tip, if you want to avoid fallout, is tilt your head forward, because then if it falls, it's not going to fall on your cheek, it's going to fall to the floor. So that's another thing you can do if you're really scared of the fallout, which I am right now. And I find that eyeshadows set the eyelid area better than powder. That's why I'm not using like a translucent powder. Sorry if this angle is super weird, but I am not going to risk getting fallout on my beautiful white base. And I'm going to go ahead and do that second layer of the Suva Beauty liner. And you can see that's really making it a lot darker, a lot more opaque. Sometimes you just gotta layer products. So I wish I had bead eyelashes to put on my bottom lash of my right eye, because the eye she's holding on to has beaded eyelashes as opposed to the eye on her dress that has feather eyelashes. Since I don't, and because I don't think I have super long lashes that I could wear on my bottom lash line, I'm just going to go ahead and draw them. So I'm just taking that black liner on my Royal and Langnickel liner brush. This is a paint brush, it's not a makeup brush. You can also use those nail art brushes. It's the same type of brush, it's a liner brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw some really long lashes. I think I'm going to keep it kind of minimal though. I'm not going to go crazy on them. With the quantity, I mean. And I'm totally out of focus. I apologize. Kind of want to make them a little bit thicker. Not a huge fan of that, but what's done is done. And so I'm just going to have to deal with it. Okay. Still don't know how I feel about it, but let's move on. Now for the lips, I'm going to go in with the Milk Makeup Matte Lipstick in the color OG Red. And it's a very vibrant blue toned red. And first I'm just going to apply straight from the bullet. And then I'm going to go in with a lip brush to define the edges. So I want to exaggerate the shape of my lips as well. But I'm going to try to keep them similar to the lips on the dress. I'm extending the outer corners, really going outside of my natural lip line on the corners. It's mixing a little bit with the white that's outside my lips, which isn't too big of an issue. You can just layer the lipstick on top, and if you layer it enough, you'll get rid of that white. Once that's done, I'm just going to lightly, very carefully blot my lips, just because there's a lot of product on there. And because I want to mattify it down a little bit more. I'm not going to risk doing any more than that. And now I get to trace it with the black. So I'm going to try going in with my thin liner brush. Let's see how this goes. So scared. Got myself a little mustache. I'm like holding my breath to do this. It is terrifying. I made it. I survived. And I feel like Ronald McDonald. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the nose to the lips. Now I'm going to go ahead and outline the entire mask face. And I'll start from the top because why not? And this line can be pretty thick. I don't really mind. And this liner brush is pretty much doing all the work for me. These brushes are made for drawing straight lines, so you can get really, really precise lines with them. 1/2 done. See how easy? Now that the outline is done, I'm going to draw cheekbones. And this is just a detail I'm adding. I just think it will really complement the look because there's a lot of like blank space in this area. I don't know if I'm going to do it on both sides. I'm going to start on this side and we'll see. I'm going to tightline my eyes and put on the top lashes on this side. And then I'm going to see how I feel about the other cheekbone contour. For my waterline, I'm using the Milk Makeup Long Wear Gel Liner in the color Boss. It's the black. And I really like this pencil for tightlining because it's really small and narrow, so you can just work it right in there. And I honestly hate tightlining my eyes, but this pencil makes it a little bit easier to. And I'm also working the pencil into the roots of the lashes because I don't want any skin showing through. So really making sure everything is pitch black. And then same on this eye. Oh, it's going to be really hard to tightline this eye because my eye isn't opening that much. Ooh, I hate tightlining. Just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with mascara, and I'm using the Hourglass Caution Mascara because it is really, really dark. And I really like the applicator. It's pretty narrow, so I can be more precise with my application and not get the mascara on my skin or on the rhinestones in this case. And I'm mostly just using mascara to get rid of the white that got on my eyelashes. And then I want to pack on quite a bit to my left lower lashes because you can still see them peeking through that black outline, so I want to make sure they're really coated heavily in mascara. Okay, so now I'm going to put on these crazy lashes that I customized myself. As I said, if you want to see how I did this, head on over to my Patreon. And I already applied the glue and let it dry, and this is going to be tricky getting this on, I think. Let's see how it goes. Because of all the feathers, I don't know where the lash ends. It's kind of crazy. Ooh, I like that. Like that a lot, actually. Nice, and you can still see the rhinestones. I was worried about that. It's pretty stinking cool, if I do say so myself. Oh man, I'm gonna need to make more feather lashes. I think that is a must. Okay, I'm seeing that the blush is looking a little bit patchy, so I'm just gonna go back in and try to blend that out a little bit better because you can definitely see like the demarcation in the middle. And I really don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna fix that real quick before I move on. So I was almost forgetting about my right eyelash, and this one is non-customized. This is what the lash looks like originally. I don't remember the name of this. I believe it's a Sugarpill lash. I'm gonna find out and leave the name down below in the description along with all the other products I use in this video. That just adds a little something on this side, so it's not too imbalanced. And while that glue dries, I think I am going to draw the cheekbone on this side as well. So this is going to be tough, getting both of them symmetrical. But what I want to do is connect this to the eye somehow. So I'm going to start thickening this up back here. Oh, I kind of like that little flick. Oh, I might not connect it. I might just leave it at that. Kind of really like that. Alright, I might add one more little lash over here. I'm gonna fix this. Is that it? Are we done? You probably may have noticed that this little thing happened right here. The eyeliner kind of bled in my little under eye wrinkles. I'm not too mad about it. I'm afraid that if I try to fix it, it'll just bleed more and then get even bigger. But I don't know, let me see. I'm gonna draw another tiny lash. It's right there. And there we go. Hopefully that won't bleed now. And to make sure that it doesn't, I'm going to dry it off with a Q-tip to make sure there's no excess water so that it doesn't bleed out. Is this it? Are we done? I think this might be it. Okay, so I'm gonna go put on my wardrobe, get my hats, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. So this is the finished look. I feel very like a club kid in this getup. which I absolutely love. Like growing up, all I wanted to be was a club kid. And then when I became old enough to actually be a club kid, to go out to the clubs and do the whole thing, I was just like, you know what? My couch sounds really good right about now. So I never became a club kid, but that was always like a dream of mine that I wanted to one day be a club kid. And so I'll just have to live that dream through makeup, but without actually going to the clubs and living in the scene. But it's fine. It's fine. I like what I do, and I like my couch and my bed. So I'm actually quite pleased with how it turned out. I think it doesn't really look like the dress by any means, but you can still definitely see the inspiration, where I got it from, and I don't know, ooh. I really like it. I can't stop looking at the monitor. I hope you guys liked this video. I had a lot of fun doing it, creating this look. I'm really digging this whole getting inspiration from fashion thing. I think I'm definitely gonna do more of this, even if it's not Met Gala. And I really like these feather lashes. I definitely want to create some more custom lashes in the future for some looks. Since I want to do more fashion inspired looks, let me know what designers you really like or what collections I should look into. My favorite designers of all time are Alexander McQueen and Chanel, so I'm probably definitely gonna do something inspired by them, but let me know if there's a specific collection you think I should look at. I definitely will. I haven't really been keeping up with fashion lately. I used to keep up with every single runway, every single magazine back when I was in college. Now, not so much. Maybe I should start doing that again. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my patrons who support me, and I will see you next time. Bye!